caught speeding. Like, he was caught drag racing a Lamborghini in Florida.
It's a good problem to have at 17.
Right, like, I mean, I wish I had that problem, but I remember, like,
pull out my Lamborghini.
You must remember the mugshot. He was smiling in the mugshot, and everyone was ripping on him. Like, why would you?
Yeah.
You know, like, he was 17. He was caught drunk drag racing a Lamborghini. I probably would have been smiling in my mugshot too. Like, that's pretty bad.
You're already
right?
drunk and driving a Lamborghini and racing.
Yeah, but when
you're having a good time.
But then it was a week or 2 weeks later, our psych teacher came and she brought in this study and she was like, we're gonna look at this because it related to this, and it was a study correlating that the age you are when you become famous is the age you intellectually stop developing. So basically, a lot of these people that become famous at young ages intellectually stop there because you don't need to develop any further. You're famous. You're rich.
You got it.
You don't need to develop anymore.
Why would you?
Like,
you don't need to go back to school. You don't need to get a couple jobs. Like, you don't need to hustle to get to the next level that you're trying to work towards in life.
Well,
you
don't need to progress as a human.
If you want
to,
you can.
You can, yeah.
You don't have to. I understand that because I feel like you well, me and you can both probably relate to this in a sense where it's like you've created a reason why you succeed early on, whereas like a lot of people. Some people are getting to their 30s before they find the first reason that they fucking exist. You know what I mean? Like they find the first reason why they want to work all the time. First thing that they want to work towards. You know what I mean? Whereas me and you both early on kind of had a feeling of what we wanted to actually.
I don't even think it's that. What I think.
But when you.
What I was
getting to is when you find that you get comfortable in that, and you develop your personality inside of that. If you stay there too long, you're going to kind of settle. So if you can do that between the ages of 15 and 17, you know what I mean? You're going to settle into a shitty kind of person.
That has more to do with personality, not intellectual development.
Yeah.
Like personality, you can get stuck in shitty ways an awful lot. I know for a long time, just a little bit ago, not even that long ago, my personality changed, and I was like rude. I wasn't nice. I would cut right to being mean and bitter. And if you know me, like in the past, and you know me now, that's just not me. But so personalities can change, but intellectual development, that's something that's different than that. That's like if you hit, like, Justin Bieber was 14 when he became number one. So at the age of 14,
he achieved something that people might have been working for 15 years.
But even besides that, at the age of 14, because he was so successful, his brain and it basically told himself, "You're done.
You're fine. You're
You
good.
don't need to grow anymore.
People
are
gonna write songs for you.
Like, you're done.
You're gonna all the stuff that you would be worried about. I started making music at 14. I had to find someone who was gonna record my shit. I had to write my own shit. I had to find how to get on shows. It was all set in stone for him. He did it.
But even all of that aside, just your brain alone,
well,
just when you reach that level of success, is just like, you're done. Okay, you don't need to learn. You don't need to grow.
Speaking on is that like when you reach something that is like, you know, one of the major thing that life is about is survival, right? So when you figure everything out to a point where you don't even need to think about that, that's like the last thing on your mind. You're making millions of dollars. So you're Justin Bieber and you're 14 years old, and survival is way out of your way. All you have to think about is what's next. Well, how am I going to be the fucking biggest thing on the planet next? Your brain is developed beyond, like, some people get into their 40s and 50s before they figure out survival,
they're at that level
right?
of comfort that people in their 40s and 50s are achieving at that age, and they have gotten there from experience and learning and ups and downs and obstacles, so when they get it, they're able to maintain it for a long period of time and appreciate it,
when you've maintained
and still
it,
continue to have that same kind of workflow.
When you've maintained it, there's no reason for you to really kind of like psychologically evolve from that because you've figured out survival.
If you get it at a young age.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And that's what I was saying.
But Justin Bieber has grown past that because he has had enough people in his corner to be like, listen, you're so young that, and you're so young and you're at a position where, like, people that get so successful at such a young age, like mid-teen years, and they can go through their honeymoon phase of being introduced to the public on a wide scale level, and everybody appreciating them, and then you get their criticism, but they're still selling out all these venues, like from an artist level, an artist perspective. This is just the analogy with that, but it's like, you know, then they'll get to the early 20s, and it's like they kind of have their moment where are they falling off? Are they not producing at the same level they were when they first came out? And they go through stuff that maybe some artists go through in their mid-late 30s at fucking the early 20s. Like Soulja Boy had the same shit. Like Soulja Boy still, I don't even think Soulja Boy's 30 yet, and he's fucking fallen off for years after like being like the fucking innovator of putting music out on YouTube first and producing your own album and all this shit.
I feel like
he fell off and came back before some people even took off in their life, you know what I mean, with what they're working towards and stuff. And someone like Justin Bieber, who's still in his 20s, he's had that moment where he's had his big scandals and his arrests, and he had his issues with doing drugs, and he basically got active as band. Justin Bieber single-handedly got a brand of cough syrup banned because he started using it, and all these rappers before him were using it to just like drinking lean and all this shit, where they take the Activist cough syrup that had codeine in it and mix it with Sprite and all this shit, and they were drinking it, they were making music about it, and it was like a cultural thing in the South that it got so popular. Justin Bieber hopped on it, and Justin Bieber, who is this fucking polished, clean pop star, white kid, starts drinking, and that gets out, the whole fucking brand goes downhill, and they have to get this band, and it's banned. They don't produce it anymore. And it's because of Justin Bieber. And Sean Kingston was on the No Jumper podcast 2 weeks ago, and he was talking about his new album they had coming out and all this shit, and hanging out and touring with Justin Bieber, and basically confirmed that Justin Bieber was essentially the reason why that whole cough syrup medicine brand had to get taken off the shelves in pharmacy stores, was because Justin Bieber started using it for the purpose of getting high. But Justin Bieber got so famous and successful so young in his life, and went through those first 5 years of, you know, really reaping the benefits of that superstardom fame, that he got the ability to be able to take some time off. And then he experimented with drugs like some early people in their early 20s would, especially when you have that amount of fame and notoriety, and everyone wants you to come to this party, or you can do anything. All the stuff that people in their 20s dream of being able to do. Some people can't even get into the fucking club. They can't even fucking get invited to this party. This guy is the party. It's like you can do anything. So you can't sit here and judge somebody for taking advantage of that shit, because if you were in that position, you would probably do it to a worse degree. So he goes through his shit, and to be able to bounce back and probably and to find yourself and probably not and fucking, I don't know, maybe when he was 14, but he is famous. But
did he ever meet the Pope?
Probably. Multiple popes. He pooped. But you know what I mean, to be able to like, he became like super like into religion and stuff, and he's probably clean now, and he's like all this shit. Fuck yeah, bro. Like Justin Bieber, if he's getting into fucking Christianity, call the Pope. Boom, let's get it.
Millions of dollars. I suck his dick.
But holy shit. But anyway, like you know, props to someone who can become that famous and that successful and fall off, and then get back on the horse, and then release albums that are improvements on a mature level. I haven't listened to his newer music, but I know they kind of get a little bit more respect, and
I like,
you know what I mean?
music.
To be able to sustain yourself for that long in the fucking public eye and not completely go off the rails is, especially if you can get back on track.
I don't think Justin Bieber has
I guess
ever
the applause
released,
from me.
I don't think you can ever look at any of his music ever. Like, I remember when I was young, like when he first started popping off, I remember
even his video "Baby" is still like one of the highest disliked videos on YouTube ever.
Really?
And it's like, who was disliking that shit? Like a bunch of 13-year-olds and like older music critics. Like, this is not music.
I remember me and my sister went to the fucking drive-in theater with Everett, and on the way there, I don't remember. Like my whole life, I've had this like whole like I'll get like anxious if somebody else is embarrassing me. Like if somebody's doing something embarrassing, and it's so embarrassing that they're doing that, I feel like secondhand embarrassment. And I remember listening to "Baby" on the radio when I was like fucking, I don't know how old I was. Whenever that came out and it was on the radio,
I was like probably like 2010 maybe. No, probably even earlier. Like
earlier
9.
than that, I was like 8, 9. Anyway, I was like 10 or 11 or something. I remember listening to that song. It was like I felt embarrassed about it. But, like, in retrospect, I'm like, I completely understand how, like, when I was in junior high, like, there was certain girls were, like, obsessed with Justin Bieber, like, in a big way. You know what I mean? And I used to find that so crazy. Like, I couldn't even mentally absorb that fucking kind of fandom. But, like, now I kind of understand. Like, he fucking jumped right in there. Like, he was never letting go. But, I don't know. It's pretty crazy that he actually made it out alive. Like, if you look at, like, Aaron Carter, he didn't have the same path through the whole ringer. You know what I mean? It's pretty.
Yeah, he's fighting Odell Beckham.
That didn't happen yet?
No, it didn't happen yet. But that's like the grimy fucking. That's like the grimy celebrity boxing. Like the Floyd Mayweather and the Logan Paul is like some official shit. It's the best boxer of all time with the most consistent record. Yeah, it's like two fucking crackheads fighting each other. And I almost went on tour with one of them. And I hope I still can. And I hope this clip gets brought up. And Aaron Carter's like, you called me a crackhead. And I'm like, well, bro, you're fucking not making a good case for yourself. No, just kidding. Shout out to Aaron Carter. He probably doesn't smoke crack. Maybe he did once. Who cares? Fucking one or two times smoking crack. But I respect Aaron Carter, man. I think he's an entertaining guy. I hope he's all right. He's supposed to fight. Yeah. Not Odell Beckham. That's the guy I think likes to get pooped on. Lamar Odom is who he's fighting. I think Lamar Odom, I don't know, man. They all sound the same. I'm not really that tapped in with sports these days. But he is fighting him. It's a celebrity boxing match. But it's like literally called celebrity boxing.
When